Hello, everyone. We are live now. Hello, everyone. We are live now.
Epic.
I have not done the thing. Give me 1 second with the prep screen so I can very quickly actually log in the stream view for the game. There we go. That should be good. All right. Now I need to swap back to the correct scene. Do I even have? I seriously never did that. Okay. I just need to manually do it then. I don't have Stream Deck buttons to swap back between the various specific stream scenes. So I am coordinated. Also, I hate that my push to talk dies whenever I hover over or have OBS as the active window, because it just cuts me off randomly. But yeah, we are waiting for one of our players. Another one of our players, Pfeiffer, is going to get a drink, and Marius is here with me. I'm going to grab a quick soda, but I'm right next to the kitchen, so I'll be immediately back. And then we will summarize some stuff once Trey gets here. But for now, we're shitposting.
Wonderful. Also make the stream announcement because yes. Or yes.
At some point, I'm just going to give you the right to post in that channel and tell you to do it, because I'm going to fucking forget every time.
I already have the right to.
Then help a motherfucker out. I'm brain dead. I'll post it this time. Can you tag the fan roll, though?
Yes. Probably because I have GM permits or something.
Yeah. I didn't remember if GM permits had that in it, so that's why I was asking.
That or because moderator, either one.
All right, I have now posted it. Hello, Pfeiffer is still not here.
No, I'm here.
Oh, sorry.
He is here.
Trey is still not here. Look, I've been losing brain cells every single day this week.
All good.
I've been growing more schizo every day of this week instead.
Fair enough. How you been doing, Pfeiffer?
I'm doing all right. Got a new job kind of up and going. It's feeling good.
Ah, that's good.
Yeah.
What
Also,
kind
one
of
second.
position?
Making essentially short ads, like ads that you see on like TikTok or like
Oh,
Reels
so you're
or...
like doing media stuff, media video editing.
Yeah.
Good shit.
Yeah, feel bad being the bad guy, but you know, ads pay well, so.
Yeah. I mean, they sell products. It is the environment that we live in.
At least I don't have to shill. I just make the video. I don't have to promote any of it.
Oh yeah, that's honestly the worst part, when you have to dead face, like, tell people to do things. Because you don't actually believe in them. The one thing that helps me actually get through it at my job is the fact that the stuff I have to show is decent.
Yeah.
It actually does something, unlike when I worked at Staples and we sold warranties and those warranties were shit.
Oh, yeah.
Staples and Amazon both use the same company for warranties. The company I'm at now, the tool store I'm at now, has it all in-house, and it's very generous for the warranties.
That's awesome.
So I don't have to feel
appreciate
like an
that.
asshole when I say, hey, you can get a warranty on this thing and it might actually do some shit for you.
Fair.
The amount of times that I've processed like warranty exchange returns is telling in and of itself.
Yeah, normal warranties are like, if it breaks for absolutely no reason and it's still in perfect condition within a month and a half, we'll give you a quarter of your money back.
Yeah, basically. That's how it feels. Oh, Pfeiffer, do you happen to have like personal number or something for Trehova? I forget if you know each other that closely.
I don't have his personal phone number. I know he's on. I'll message him on Discord DM though, but yeah, he knows we were at 3. Worst case is like he was like getting ready to sit down, and then his dad was probably like, "Can you go do this thing?" And he's like, "No," and he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna need you to go do that thing."
There he is.
Speak of the devil.
Sorry,
And he shall appear.
Did your dad take you aside to do a thing?
No.
Okay, that was the prediction up until now. Well, we are already live, by the way, so hello.
Hello.
How are you doing, Trey?
Yes.
Cool.
That's where Remnant came out. I'm doing good.
Fair.
Right. All right. Well, for a quick summary and introduction, hello everyone, including Skrulk, the only person that I can see in chat, but anyone else that either watching this live or watches the VOD later on. I am Trisky. I am the game master of this campaign and the one who rules the Unlucky Rolls channel. I was trying to say runs, but I went with a ruler. I am the dictator of the Unlucky Rolls channel.
Wonderful.
And all right. Joining me are 3 chucklefucks who are going to be participating in gang shit in the middle of Necromunda. They include Marius, Trehova, and Pfeiffer playing respectively. Introduce yourselves.
CC, the platinum red-haired squat.
I'm
Space
Sig.
Dwarf.
Yes, Space Dwarf. I'm Sigismund, the fucking me love me emperor guy, as you can tell from the flames on his back. And he's
I'm
not
trying.
all. Go.
You done?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm Trehova. I'll be playing 32 and making sure the game master does not roll very well this game.
Yes. You will be attempting to thwart me. But to summarize what happened last time, it's been a little hot minute. Thank you for bearing with us. Times are weird right now. Our party has found themselves heading south on what's basically a whim, but for Sigismund is basically a prophecy from the God Emperor Mankind in his head, because he hears him, maybe not. I don't know if it's actually him. He doesn't know if it's actually him. We'll find out at some point. Or we won't. Either way. But they have decided to start venturing south shortly after learning about a few of their rivals in the area that they have to keep in mind. The consensus was that they should try to make peace with a certain group known as the Dautus Adept and steer clear of another group, the Mistresses Gang. And with that in mind, they headed south in spite of the fact that they were heading towards the Mistress and her territory. But in the part of the travels, they came across a Dautus Adept APC of some sort fighting against a group of Escher gangers who presumably are from the Mistress's gang, but unconfirmed. And they joined in the middle of the battle by flying over with 32 falling out of the vehicle in a very dramatic and funny fashion, and beating the shit out of the Eschers until they ran away. And they stole one of their bikes, too. They then proceeded to talk with the Dautus Adept, and in a bit of a sort of a negotiation, and also a sort of, we need to gauge who the fuck these guys are, you have been invited by Sergeant Bartholomew, the leader of this band, this current squad to join them as they return to their forward operating base. Pfeiffer, I see you starting up Terraria, you motherfucker.
No, I'm not. You're the only thing on the screen. Oh, my wife's on my account. I was like, no, I'm not. I was like, I found a D&D's on the fucking front.
My wife,
There we
Pamela
go.
Anderson.
I wonder if she'll respond to what I just sent. Anywho. Now that little side tangent has gone through. Yeah, so you're basically rejoin the party again as they proceed to follow back to this forward operating base of the Dautus Adept in a sort of cautious truce alliance something with this one squad at least. Not knowing necessarily what's in store for them. Who is driving what again? Remind me of that, because I do have 3 vehicles to pay attention to now.
I am driving the main vehicle that is filled with the other NPCs, I believe.
And everyone else is driving a bike.
Mm-hmm.
Did you
I'm
bring...
driving a bike.
Did you on
just...
a bike?
You were just on the car, right? No meat truck?
Mm-hmm. Just the car.
Alright. Yeah, they were, I forget the name of them, skimmers, or they were hover bikes of a sort
Cutters.
that Escher used. Cutters, yeah, that's the name of them. They're cutters that you stole from the Eschers that ran the fuck away.
Technically, only one ran away.
True.
They were like
You
two
left
of
one to
them.
My
tell
wife
the story.
apologized. She thought she was on her Steam.
Yeah,
As
and
soon as she
we
got a message
gave,
from you, she logged off.
and we gave
I
one
was
of
just
the
fucking with
fucking-
you. I just thought it was funny. I just sent her the message. You accidentally blackmailed your husband.
Do it again.
Do it again.
Do it again. Anywho. Yeah,
I just wanted to ask about the fucking bike. I know that I have one and that Portman has one.
I'm on one.
Yep.
you managed to get 3 of them. I think one of them got away with the one who ran.
It was like 2 of them on one bike or something like that. I don't remember. But yeah.
Something of the sort. Those things are really tight, so it was a tight ride, but they managed to get away with it. So, anywho, following along behind, I have to just readjust something because I forgot that y'all weren't bringing along the meat truck. I'm not going to bother getting a token for the cutters right now because it's not going to be too relevant, so we'll just say they're parked off screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we were selling them or some.
We were going to
thing.
sell them, or we were going to keep it as like an emergency vehicle.
I mean, having a smaller, more mobile vehicle in the Underhive is very useful, especially considering their hover technology, so they're off-road. So it is something to consider using them yourselves, or at least 1 or 2 of them yourselves, and then maybe selling the
I
rest
want
of them.
to say, while Sigismund himself probably wouldn't care too much about selling the bikes, out of character, I will skin you alive if you do.
Alright, we'll keep yours.
Yeah.
Look, man, funny bike.
Funny,
Yeah, I think it was out
funny
of game.
flame guy on motorcycle, flying it through sky.
True.
Somehow they
Literally,
don't go out.
a fucking Ghost Rider.
I don't remember if it was out or in game, but I said that I wanted to mod it so that it doesn't look like a fucking stolen cutter.
Keep the
Like it
blood.
doesn't-
Scroll could chat. Keep the blood covered one.
Oh yeah, you wanted it to fucking.
Oh,
make
One,
yeah,
them-
one of them got eviscerated, right?
You wanted
Yeah.
to paint them like they weren't from the fucking gang that we stole them from, so that
Listen,
they
they're
wouldn't-
all my cutters. I'm just
Yeah.
letting them borrow them for now.
even though they will probably recognize us on sight. So
But bringing things back into focus a little bit, we find ourselves back at this forward operating base belonging to the Dautus Adept. This large APC. To add some more context, it is blue, and that seems to be a theme for these guys as you approach, with insignias and signage of the gang bringing a light blue, or like a pale blue, more so.
A powder blue, like that
Yeah.
one Yoshi.
This kind of blue.
Kind of
blue.
like the blue squares we get sometimes when we roll.
A little bit lighter than
I don't know
that.
what you're talking about. I've never gotten any of those.
I've only ever seen them rolled against me, to be honest.
I've heard legend.
What do you mean you don't get any of those? You literally get them every time you roll while I'm chanting.
True.
That was inconvenient in my narrative.
Yeah. Got your own doctrine and agenda.
Yeah. We all
Gotta keep
have
it up.
different hidden agendas anyways.
Yeah.
I thought those were just kids.
But yeah, this is about where you are. You're basically coming back through this area, and as you drive around the corner, you all find what you can see physically on the map is before you. It is a large, to describe for the folks that want to listen to this audio style, it is a large road, relatively large, especially considering the state of this area of the Underhive. That seems to curve off into a very large warehouse-like building. I need to do something to all the wall here because it didn't automatically do it, so it's nice to me that way. The wall around you is not supposed to limit light or vision, so you can actually see through that. Because it is a fence. It's a barren sort of area of the Underhive that seems to spread out into yet more rubble and wasteland, as is sort of normal for a lot of the Underhive areas, bad areas where things aren't necessarily going too great. As you come around the corner, you spot a couple of vehicles just sitting about. One looks like basically a sturdier armored personnel carrier with a more mainline battle cannon on it, so closer to a tank, if anything. And another one is what looks to be a standard sort of pickup truck with a similar, like, mounted weapon akin to the one you have. There are turrets along the wall that tell you that it would be a bad idea to attempt anything here. Namely, hey, Sigismund, look up to your left.
Yep.
And there are tons of people about in some capacity, but most of them are not outside, so you can't really see anything of the sort. There is a lot of assorted debris and rubble, and it appears that there's some small operation to clean it up. You can see off in the distance a little backhoe that's working on something or other and cleaning up some of the stuff. It seems like they're trying to scavenge whatever they can. And while there is still a hint of that, like, sort of atmosphere of everything being, like, looted and junk, you do note that the equipment that these guys have is in a lot better clean condition than what you're used to.
Oh yeah, very very expected from like the merchant-ish like archaeotech people. Like yeah, the area may not look great, but the equipment on point.
Yep. But as you do, you come around the corner following the APC that they were driving in, and you come to see them park at the front door. There is a garage off in the distance, but he seems to park short of it for some reason. You're unsure why. And then he gets out of the vehicle. And you are basically told to park off over there because they don't want you to have weapon sight on their vehicles. Not that it would be a good idea to attack anyway, but they're still iffy about you.
Taking precautions.
Yeah, precautions, definitely.
Yeah.
So, with that in mind, game is unpaused. You can move a bit if you would like. What would you like to do? I'm assuming follow the gentleman inside, but if you want to do something else, be my guest to tell me.
No, definitely following inside. Seems correct here. I think for our vehicle, leaving the others there would probably be a good idea. None of them are really talkers, I believe.
Except for David.
And Lycanchamp.
Probably
His
sent them
name
to
is
get
David
food.
Lycanchamp.
He has a first name.
Yeah.
No, I thought we sent them out on like a grocery run.
I did not recall that. Well, who's still with you? Freddy and David went on that.
I think it was Freddy and, or was it Equire and Portman? And we sent Freddy and David.
Portman was with you because he was on one of the cutters. I do
Okay, yeah.
vaguely remember that. I think you sent Freddy because he was the main one that could, straight man against David Lycanchamp's eccentricisms.
Yeah.
So you have Equire with you, who is your better gunner and secondary driver, and Portman.
Yes. Okay.
It may have been the other way with swapping out
No,
Equire
you're right.
and Freddy, but either way, we're proceeding with this idea.
Good old Equire. He's never been the same since the war.
And the war. And the war. And the war.
The war.
War.
The war.
Moving on. So they have parked off to your left a good ways over here, and he gets out of the vehicle and starts proceeding up diagonally and scoots past the vehicle. He makes some smug comment about poor parking job or something, a little bit disgruntled about it, and then proceeds up to this door, and he looks at you all, and he says, "Before anything else, immediately, I need you to set your weapons down if you're going to come inside."
I
Yeah,
feel like
not a
I would
problem.
have probably already left my weapons at the bike just because.
You
Or I'll just
expected
leave
that.
them here instead. It doesn't. Yeah, I'll just leave
I
them
mean-
already because.
I mean,
it's
if you
kind of
feel like you
expected.
would have left your weapons behind already, then that would be the
Yeah.
case, honestly. But if you aren't the type to do that, then at this point he would basically flag you to leave them behind.
No, I
Yeah.
would have left them behind already because, yeah.
Alright, I like.
All I'd probably have is like my pistol, so I'd like pull that out, do that thing where you kind of like turn it around, holding it by the barrel, and like give him like the butt of the gun so he can take it.
Why must you part me with my hammer at every opportunity?
Do you honestly expect any different from these guys?
Alright, I'd like to set my hammer down and then put a bike lock around it. Not against anything like effectual, just like the hammer itself.
So
You
there's
put
like
it,
a
around
small
the handle.
there's like a small external boiler system like right next to you or something. You decide to pull out your hammer and just set it there, and you sort of just bike chain it to the side of this little boiler and just like click the lock, and he just sort of looks at you with like a weird expression, and then he just shrugs, and then he proceeds to let you all inside.
Not like he could lift it. Anyway.
Anyways.
As you proceed inside, things seem to be a lot more orderly than you would expect. There are a set of monitors, or cogitators, as they're called in 40k, on your left, with a strange gentleman smoking a blunt, holding a hot shotgun, and looking at the screens. You assume that whatever is in that cigarette, blunt, whatever it is not going to impair him enough from his job, or he doesn't give a shit. The sign next to you reads with a bunch of small notes scribbled by various handwriting about certain tasks that have been accomplished still need to be done. Work orders around the building. You get some sense that everyone is expected to do their part to keep the place clean. Off in the distance, you see one person sitting in the chair, just sort of relaxing. A small like data slate in front of them, playing some cheap game. You keep hearing like some screaming, angry, like avian noises. I don't know. And he shows you inside. The floor, while rusty over time, is still relatively clean. He points about in a couple locations. First, he points to the door to your right as you enter. He says, "That area is off limits. Those are medical quarters."
As nod.
Follow me down this way. And
Of
he
all the
proceeds-
games to last into the 31st millennium, it had to be Ape Escape.
Avian is ape. Yes, that's what avian means. We are going forward with that.
I know it's a lie, but I want it to be true. Also, I can't think of any avian games.
I was just thinking that it was, for me, I was thinking of the fucking Bolt Gun game.
It's the
Murdering streamers or some shit.
It's Chicken Run, the movie, the game.
It's fucking
The
Angry
movie, the
Birds. It's
Understandable.
fucking Angry Birds.
Look,
No,
look, man, you should have said that there were pig noises as well.
I assumed
I
with the
reject-
shotgun, the guy over on the computer was just playing like virtual reality Duck Hunt.
I'm also not
The
gonna
real
lie.
shotgun because he's a man.
I heard you say a hot shotgun. I was like, is it a hot gun?
Holy
Is it a
shit!
hot shot las gun, or is it a?
It's
Is that
hot. He
angry
wants to marry
shotgun?
it.
I'm gonna die.
You see, CC is sexually attracted to firearms.
Yeah, I'm what would I say? Barrel sexual.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say that. Okay, moving on. He proceeds through the lobby here to the door on the far side of the hallway and proceeds to open that up as well. And
I would-
turns you to follow.
Yep.
Yep.
Scroll out. There we go. Yep.
One. There.
Alright then.
As you proceed through this door, you find that a large chunk of the building appears to be a garage of some sort, a mechanic sort of wet dream of a sort. Inside of the bay is a large, heavily armored semi-truck of a sort, semi-truck transport, military transport, with a mounted gun and various people working on it in different capacities. A road barrier cuts off any vehicles from coming around the corner here, which you assume was not the initial design of the building, but was put in place later on to prevent them from running over people as they move about on non-mechanic business. And you spot a large shipping crate, presumably filled with parts, some more mechanics workbench, kind of accoutrements down to your south. And, yeah. It is a very... what you would expect of a mechanic shop in the 41st millennium. Lots of petroleum, lots of grease. And he turns and looks at this and says, "This is our workshop. We work, outfit, and repair our vehicles here. Now,
Very impressive.
time being, as it seems. But I must warn you, if you try and step out of line and cause any trouble, you will be gunned down. Without hesitation. My men are very disciplined in that respect, and I expect you to follow my orders. All here. Now, to give you a quick idea of what's going on in this location. He points to a couple of doors. First off, behind you to the right, you see what is obviously an elevator door with the words vertical access written in low Gothic on the floor in front of it. He points to that and says, "That elevator is off limits. Do not touch it. It's key carded anyway, so there's no reason to really worry about you getting in without permission, but don't touch it nonetheless." He points to the door past it on the right and says, "If you must relieve yourselves, those are the latrines." And then he points to the other couple doors past on the left in a squeezed tight hallway area. And he mentions, "Over there are our crew quarters, and beyond that, yet further, is a kitchen. Kitchen is off limits. Crew quarters, I wouldn't recommend going in there. But I won't stop you. Now, the person you're here to see is going to be my boss. And we will discuss whatever it is you came to discuss." Still never gave me a good idea of what it was you were after.
I'm pretty sure it was. Shit, what were we gonna sell? I thought we were gonna sell him something, or that we wanted to set up like business trade or like work for them.
Fucking mostly just work for them potentially. I'm pretty sure was the general idea.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah, we were kind of like reconnaissancing other gangs. So it was the hopes that we would run into them and not the Escher. And then we did both.
We literally I just went Emperor. What should we do? Go south. Okay.
And then you ran into these guys and decided to follow it for like a short side tangent. I believe there was something about Archaeotech listed somewhere that you recall, but the details are vague.
They were the people who held all the contracts for Archaeotech, so we would have to find an undiscovered contract, but if we ran into them, we could take on a contract from them to go get the Archaeotech.
And then something along those lines.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is
good.
They don't exactly contract out for Archaeotech, but they're one of the biggest factions involved in most of the hunting for Archaeotech, and are also one of the ones that would bid the highest dollar for some decent Archaeotech that you could acquire. So
yeah, I think you said that like if we didn't have their permission to go hunting in areas, that we would be essentially stepping on their toes, and that we would be.
Oh yeah, if you started looking for Archaeotech on their turf, they would not take kindly to that whatsoever. They might look away one time, especially if you don't find anything of excessive value after helping them out once.
Unless we are literally looking for Archaeotech for them, specifically under their orders, because they'll pay us or some shit.
Well, yeah, that's a different matter, but if you just snoop into their territory and start searching for Archaeotech, they're not going to take kindly to it. The Underhive is a large, expansive place, and in spite of the single layer map that we have to show for the world map of the campaign, it goes for miles in all directions. X, Y, Z, doesn't matter where the hell you go, there's more hive to go. And the further you go down, the worse it gets generally.
And that's where you find Archaeotech usually, though.
But yep, that's some of the more ancient areas of the Underhive and the Hive itself. So that is prone to be a place where you can sometimes come upon amazing treasures along with very violent carnivorous wildlife living in the Underhive. Mm-hmm. So it's a bit of a catch-22 there.
It's like the Little Shop of Horrors, but the shop isn't little.
Oh yeah. The amount of things that have accidentally been imported from Death Worlds and Necromunda is hilarious to me.
That sounds fucking awful. I don't know what you just said. But it just sounded like a nightmare.
Oh, there are a lot of things. Worlds? Yes, okay. So this is something you don't know. I'm just going to give you a bit of a primer on this. The Imperium classifies different worlds according to what they are like and what they produce or offer to the greater Imperium. You have agricultural worlds, which are the farms and such. Generally, some of the
Uh-huh.
most peaceful worlds overall, but also, least defended should, Tyranids come about or something else.
They could also just be massive factories.
Yeah. You have hive worlds, like this one.
Mhm.
So Necromunda is a hive planet, or a hive world, as it's called, and you are all hive worlders, except for Sigismund, who comes from a demon world.
Yep.
Or
Also,
a
a hive.
orc.
A planet doesn't need to be a hive dedicated as a hive world to have hives on it.
Gotcha.
Actually, if you can see them, I think you guys can see the different archetypes, right?
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, a bunch of the archetypes are basically just the kind of world you come from initially. So you have Agri World, which is the agricultural world, Demon World, which is what Sigismund is from and got teleported here by Chaos Warp fuckery. You have Death Worlds. Do you know Catachan?
I know the name.
All right, Catachan is one of the most notorious death worlds in all of the Imperium. There is an entire segment of the Imperial Guard dedicated to soldiers that come from Catachan. Catachan, as a death world, is, as the name implies, very deadly. The people who live there, even the weakest among them, are fucking ripped by our standards because they have to be to survive. If you aren't strong, good at fighting in dense jungle where basically all of the wildlife, plants, and animals all want to kill and eat you, then you die on Catachan.
You also have a Sylvester Stallone stand-in, who's cool.
Yeah, let's put it this way. Catachan was sort of 40K's parody of Rambo and the works, and it has spiraled out of control since then.
Catachan is just Space Australia.
Yeah, Space Mega Jungle Australia. That's a good description of it.
It's Australia, the planet.
Yeah, literally.
Jungle.
Yeah, it's a jungle. There are feral worlds, which are, as the name implies, like feral, generally
Caveman.
not great. There are also feudal worlds, which are a little bit more civilized than feral worlds. Forge worlds, which are generally run mostly by the Mechanicus as worlds that manufacture all the stuff for various other worlds. This world has a little bit of that. It has some manufactorum areas, but it is not inherently a forge world. It is not intended purely for that purpose. It is also a hive world that gets recruited from for a lot of the Imperial Guard and does a lot of other things as well. Fortress worlds, frontier worlds, garden worlds, pleasure worlds, etc. There are a bunch of different classifications. Necromunda has a bad habit of various very hostile creatures and foreign creatures coming from death worlds and accidentally getting imported here.
Oh, so got it. So it's like, oh, whoops! I accidentally introduced this invasive species, but the invasive species is
Mega
a fucking
Hitler.
baby tyrannid.
It's Mike Tyson's tiger.
Yeah. That is basically what it's like. So the further you go, the more likely you are to find some of that hasn't been dealt with by local gangs and whatnot. So yeah.
I very much appreciate the explanation, considering that I know we're playing D&D, but I don't know, that just kind of added an extra layer of oh no, because I know some people that watch the VODs because they tell me about it because they're like, I'm at work whenever you guys play, and they were like, I don't know a lot about Warhammer or Necromunda.
Okay.
And so whenever I don't know something, I'll mention it instead of just being like, I'll make a note of that and I'll look it up later.
Yep. I could explain stuff for the general public.
It seems like you enjoy expositing a little bit of lore, and I appreciate it.
I'm a fucking Aspie. I'm on the autism spectrum. Of course I like gushing about shit I like. That's sort of bread and butter of what my entire subset of mindset is. Anyway,
same with me.
Our
here,
good friend
honestly.
Henry Cavill unleashes the 40K series.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so excited. Wonderful. Well, then instead I will ask questions rather than quietly go and check it myself, so that maybe those who don't know can also enjoy.
We're fucking 40K nerds. We enjoy explaining the lore for a billion hours.
Yep.
I'm just a normal nerd. I just research shit because I'm...
And 40K has a lot of lore to exposit upon. But moving on,
to go read the Infinite and Divine.
The Infinite and the
Right.
Divine mostly focuses on the Necrons. That barely has
Yeah,
any
but-
lore for the Imperium.
Yeah.
But they're funny.
It's a
It
fucking
did
good
be
book,
fun.
but it's not as good as Brutal Cunning.
Read fucking King's whatever the other Necron book.
Or-
I've heard that it's also really fucking good.
That's a good,
The
very
Silent King.
casual 40k. The
Yeah.
Caiaphas Kane series is a good casual.
Caiaphas Cain is a great introduction, honestly, even though they do use a bunch of terms that are like basically jargon to people outside of the group. They have a tendency for the worst of them to actually have our sub-protagonist, the Inquisitor, who's like writing the entire
Amberly
book
Vale.
series. Yeah, Amberly Vale. I keep forgetting her name. She's so important, but I keep forgetting her name. Amberly
Yeah.
Vale, the Inquisitor, that's actually compiling all of Caiaphas Cain's memoirs into a readable form, has a tendency to cut in and explain things when he doesn't.
Yeah, and there's
Yeah.
also some, but it also has like the one outdated Necron Pariah, which is a which is a human blank turned into a Necron, which is sort of no longer canon. I'm pretty sure,
Yeah,
but yeah,
fucking Warhammer 40k and retcons go bread and butter
Yeah.
in one another's hands.
I'm
It's
gonna
whatever.
quickly say that I find it dumb that Necrons cannot make more Necrons from fucking humans. Honestly.
Yeah.
Because it's not like they would have lost that technology necessarily, but whatever.
Yeah, I agree with you on that, but also it's
I like
a
the
matter
Necrons
whether.
are limited resource. Otherwise, they're kind of just like, all right, we're just waiting for the Necrons to win.
Yeah,
Fair.
if the Necrons had the ability to do that, they would be basically the unstoppable force because they could continue
yeah.
making soulless automatons to fund their
Maybe
fuel
the
war effort.
pariahs were supposed to be an exception because, Necrons like fucking the warp over when they can, but yeah. Anyways.
Anywho, now that book club is coming to a bit of a
Yeah.
close.
Apologies.
Nope, you're fine.
You're
we
fine.
we are autistic. We will go for that. Quite literally. Anywho. So you're still in this facility. He is about to open up a door off in the corner, and he sort of is waiting sort of expectantly for you.
Where'd he go?
Top left.
To the
Yep.
oh, top left. Okay, yeah. I have to find him. Zoom in just a little bit.
He turns to you with a very strong look and does not open the door immediately. Instead, he sort of motions to the door very mildly and then turns to you and says, "This is our armory and meeting room. We sadly do not have the space at this forward base location to really adopt separate rooms for such endeavors, and so this doubles up. As a result, all of our most important weaponry is in here. I am telling you this because it's going to be obvious, not because I expect you to want to take anything. In fact,
Steve.
if you touch anything, you will be shot on sight. There are gun turrets in the walls, trained on whoever, without authorization, takes weaponry. You have been warned."
I feel like that warning's a bit pointed towards somebody.
No, I
Uh,
do not steal.
Sigus,
I either buy
go.
or die.
Yeah, tell that to the mutants.
I was told explicitly by my party members that those aren't people.
Yep, they aren't. Do not think about them like people. They are not.
I'll have you
Yeah.
know that we killed
Also-
the mutants first. That makes the stuff ours by
My
right.
job here definitely, I want to have peaceful, like professional relationship with this gang. I'm not looking to steal. I don't even want to look at anybody funny.
Sigismund would ask if it's fine if we look the weapons over at least because you don't see fine Archaeotech every single day.
Look, don't touch.
Yep.
I just
Is that
want to
clear?
take my hammer.
He
Yeah.
nods. Yeah.
He nods a little bit and then proceeds to open up the door to the armory and step inside.
I will follow.
In spite of the art showing empty shelves, what you actually stumble upon is a room filled and stocked with neatly organized and high-grade weapons all over the walls. In various...
Is there a hammer?
There are melee weapons. You could just probably assume there's a power maul or two in there, but they are the same under the same protection as everything else, so it's your funeral if you go for one.
I was going to steal for one. I was just saying if anything would catch my eye.
Yeah, so if anything would catch your eye, it would be a power maul, which is a... Power weapons are something in Warhammer universe for the Imperium. This is another little lesson for you, just so you know the scale of what these are. Plasma swords are generally only used in the tabletop game by HQ commander units, and they are really strong in armor piercing. They are really nice things. They have, like, force equipment to them. Imagine just, like, extra oomph by magical warp shenanigans. Not really. It is technology, but it's weird. But
I'm pretty sure that the power swords are the weird warp stuff.
Yeah, power swords and whatnot exist in some capacity too, but there are also just like demon weapons, which at that point you're committing heresy and you're going to get executed anyway. And if you manage to find one on this planet, you probably have other problems to deal with at that point.
There's also fucking power sides and fists, which I just
One day
felt like
I'll turn
mentioning
my hammer
because,
into a power.
yeah,
Yeah, power fists, power maul,
power sides only because it's funny.
actually, yeah, they are called force. Those are the ones that we're talking about. Those are the power swords, power maul, power fist, power blades, power axe, power shield.
Yeah, to use like force field to hit shit.
Power weapons are to weapons what fucking like
Lightsabers are to
A
swords.
cannon is to a howitzer.
like what power armor is to armor. It's pretty straightforward that. They're generally better, they're generally really expensive, and they're generally in low stock.
Yeah,
A
it's
power-
force weapons that are sorry.
No good.
It's force weapons that do psychic bullshit where they are stronger depending on the psyker wielding them. And I believe that there are also flaming swords, which were originally just a fucking broken version of power swords. But they just made it into something useful that looks cool. With that.
Yeah. But with that in
Sorry, I
mind,
had to
they
update
have...
my. Go ahead.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of weapons all over the wall. You definitely see a power maul, which would be, or what would be most interesting to you, because that's the closest thing to your hammer. But a power maul is more of like a one-handed mace kind of thing. You can find bigger hammers and whatnot, but otherwise you would be looking into like power axes, power swords. They don't have a very large number of these, as I mentioned before, they are relatively rare, but they are there. You see various explosive weapons of varying kinds of quality and strength. You also see tons and tons of various bolt, plasma, and flame weapons lying about in various ways. Well, not lying about. They're actually very neatly organized, knowing these guys, but a few of them are laying out on the table before you. Some of them look very out of place. There appears to be what looks like a standard bolt gun, an auto gun, all of these in various different states of assembly or disassembly. There looks to be a plasma gun that is being very carefully disassembled from the looks of it, and one that looks really out of place. This thing right here. That one. It's hard to signal otherwise.
Yep.
Which appears to have, which must have been taken from some other gang or something of a sort, because it looks ramshackle as all hell.
Mm.
Hell, if you've ever
Yep.
even remotely encountered them before, Sigismund, they would look orky to you.
Yes, totally a gang and not made by funny green men.
Yeah. There's also some small bionics, like explosives left about, and cleaning supplies near a safe in the corner. And there's one ganger sitting around looking about at you, along with the one you're here for, not pictured at the moment on the map, actually. Stepping into the room, Sergeant Bartholomew proceeds into the room in a very stiff sort of march, turns and salutes to someone off in the corner. As you look up, you see a tall, slender woman with, honestly, a very well-kempt suit. Armor of very light look, but probably not make, and a very commanding presence standing there. She has short-cut red hair, a set of goggles on that appear to be those normally worn by mechanics or those repairing things, so you're assuming she was doing some work before you came in. And as you proceed in and he does his salute, she turns and looks at you all and just turns to look at Bartholomew and says, "Soldier, state your business." Uh, yes, Commander. Commander Keller. We are here to... Stop stuttering so much, Bartholomew, and spit it out. Sorry, ma'am. I have brought some strange foreigners to our base to discuss trade or alliances. This is unclear. What do you mean it's unclear? She just sort of looks at him really hard. He turns and looks at you. And then she, as soon as he starts to look away, she yells, "Look at me, not them." He looks up and you can see like notable like beads of sweat falling down his face, as he's just like trying not to stammer and failing miserably. She looks him in the eyes for a good while, saying nothing. He looks back, saying nothing. And then after a short moment, she waves him away and says, "Back to your squad. I will handle this." And he does the closest thing in a military fashion he can do to fucking sprinting out of there.
Mm-hmm.
But in, a very nice, like, marching trot and whatnot, and looking proper and whatnot, but very quickly.
Yep.
And with that, you are in this room, sitting around next to what appears to be the leader of at least this forward base that you are currently in.
The one here in the gun room.
The one that's actually a token is not her. That one's another one that happened to be in the area. They just seem to be working about. I actually did not put a proper token in for her.
It happens.
Yeah, no, not a problem.
I'll make it up.
Yeah, I'll just kind of gesture and be like, to be clear, we are here for, well, both. As he said, we are here for positive, negotiations. We're here for work, possible, trade allies.
State the name.
CC.
She turns
Uh,
to each of you in turn.
Out of character, you might also want to mention that we are working for,
I thought we weren't gonna mention that. I thought that was kind of the point, was to like kind
fair.
of be mercenary-ish. If somebody pries, I'm sure we can tell them the truth.
Fair.
But if they don't pry, we are technically mercenaries.
Anyways, Sigismund.
32.
32. Is that a military designation?
Unknown.
Unknown.
I don't believe so.
She looks at you
Most
with like a
likely
bit
a
of
VAT number,
confusion.
madam.
Of that.
Yes, you do look like one of the Vatborn. Are you Goliath?
Not currently.
I see.
I really like that answer.
Mhm.
Are you a Goliath? Not at the moment.
House Goliath is the gang that normally has these vat-grown soldiers.
Oh,
so.
oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I thought you meant like, are you a gotcha?
Yeah, or the really buff guys.
Yeah, all the really big guys. You got toll roaded by House Goliath, and they were all very similar in
mhm.
look to 32.
Just less handsome.
Yes,
True.
accurate.
Says somebody who wears a full face mask all the time.
That's how I
There,
look
have a
better.
token to represent her. Hair's a little bit shorter cut than that, but it gets the point across.
She got 2 guns.
The guns.
Mm.
She sort of, like, slowly nods. You seem to be under the impression that she's contemplating something. And then she steps forward to the table and sets something down that she had in her hand. As she turns and looks at you all, you just look at the table. It's probably like, seems to be like a multi-tool or something, akin to like part screwdriver, part other tools. It just seems to shift about. Sort of like the Swiss Army knife of working on tools. And she looks back up at you, and sort of just like waits.
So you said she sat down a tool?
She set down like a multi-tool on the table. You've seen multi-tools before. They're used a lot
Yeah.
in like construction and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, I also have a multi-tool.
Very similar tool, probably a different make or color or something, but same functionality that you can tell. And at this point, she's just sort of standing there with the tool set down and sort of just like staring you all down. You have an odd feeling that she's looking you over and sizing you up.
I kind of speak up and I say, we recently had some dealings with some House Omega, specifically one of their tech priests, and they said that if we wanted to do any kind of archaeotech, excavation or research or anything else, that we would most likely end up stepping on your toes, and rather than doing so, coming to you to actually get your approval, I assumed would be a great place to start business relations.
Approval for what?
Searching for archaeotech or just doing business in this area.
Business, yes, but you will not be taking archaeotech from my territory.
Well, not taking for ourselves,
And what do you
but
mean
we
by that?
planned on excavating.
Surely
For
you
you.
have tech that you want that's in places where it's not worth sending them in.
Are you volunteering for suicide missions? Is that why I'm getting at?
Well, maybe not the suicide missions, but we've been known to take a few expendable jobs and come out successful.
Intriguing. Who do you work for?
Creed.
Creed. Interesting. I've heard the name in passing. Don't know too much. Apparently she's starting to move on her own.
Yes, Creed is a very intelligent woman, very intriguing person to be around.
I will take your word for it. But does appear that you have been sent as her ambassador of a sort. Is that correct to assume?
Yeah, I'd say that's correct enough to assume.
Then I will take you as such. Do you have a name for your organization?
At the moment, nothing really concrete.
We already have. You for Gore. We have the Underhive wrecking unit.
Yeah, I
But
didn't know
that's,
if we were
you
going to
know-
be allowed to cement that.
But that's for Creed if you want to go hidden. But
I also don't want to introduce myself as the Underhive Wrecking Unit because that rolls off the tongue like fucking
Cement.
ooh,
a square.
you can just abbreviate it. Ooh.
Yeah, that's why I was saying I don't know if we're going to be allowed to keep that. I didn't know. If
Look,
we had
I'm not
gotten
gonna veto
approval.
your dumb team name. You just have to fucking decide on one.
I'm vetoing ooh. I'm not. I gotta deal with that shit enough already. I'm not ooh. This
Gotta be a unanimous agreement, so that one's off the table, it seems.
Hold on. There was one. I remember it, and it was something like Creed's like
Creed's Crusaders.
no. It
That
was
sounds way
like
too much.
Creed's unhuman neutralizing team.
Cunt.
I'm not.
Yeah.
God damn it.
No? I'm pretty sure I had an acronym for MILF as well, but I don't know. You're not gonna we're not getting
We need a MILF one, that's for sure.
Look, we're not fucking Gunjim and
Wait, you have one. Monstrously investigations and lethal.
the two brain cells you have collectively are leaking.
You're fighting for third place.
No. If we rub them together enough, they will create a spark of thought, and we will get something.
Here's
I'm
the
just-
brain-
I'm just
round.
hoping the
Yeah,
spark
yeah,
detonates an atom bomb and kills you all at this point.
Here's the
Yeah.
brain cells.
I mean, that's extremely fair. So
Right now, it's the demon core and the screwdriver.
Look, man, there's at least 10 brain cells in there.
Alright, boys, gather around. We need a team name.
I have this picture that in
3
the middle
minutes.
of talking to her, you just sort of like step aside to huddle in the middle of this armory.
What's a name that sounds good that we can get Sarah Creed to approve of?
oh, I don't think Creed fucking cared. I thought that was like a part of it.
I thought this was like our gang name.
It is. But I
It
think
It is your
Creed
gang
really
name.
care less about whatever.
Alright, by Creed, I mean, what can we get the DM to approve? How far can we draw the line? I want to tiptoe this.
It depends on how much shit you want me to throw at you. I'll basically approve anything, but depending on what you do, it's going to result in more and more ruin on you.
You can't throw any more ruins at me. You already throw them all at me.
We'll just be Creed's Ultramarines.
Ah,
I was about to send this pic as well. This game.
How about we just go with just like something to do with Creed. Like at the moment, be like it's undetermined. We'll come up with something outside of the game and then announce it next stream what we've decided on.
We
alright,
are
we'll pretend we told her.
We are TBD.
Yes.
To be this.
Man, I feel like TBD is going to stay around for a while. You've made a huge mistake.
TBD is such a good name, come on.
You never give a temp name.
We are
What's
so
the name of
bad.
that gang? I don't know. It's to be determined.
So
Don't worry.
she nods and says, TBD. That's a very interesting name.
What's it stand for? We don't know yet.
Inserting your name in an RPG be like.
Oh no,
Anyway.
fuckface! You have to save the village.
We're going to end this goddamn campaign with TBD still being the gang name.
Maybe.
I feel it in my bones.
If you manage that, I will make it worse and worse on you over time. Because we are at session 10, and you haven't named your fucking gang.
You're saying
I thought I
that
already had a name. I didn't know I had to come up with one.
just destroyed me.
This is my mistake. I expect Steve
Hello
to have a
there,
plan.
fuck.
Anyway, moving on. Back to whatever conversation was attempting to go on.
How did only 1 hour pass? It feels like we've been here for 5.
Well, considering if you look in retrospect on what has actually occurred, we have got at a
We've
glacial
walked.
pace.
50 feet.
it's
It had one in-game conversation. That's still going.
it's funny. Lord Krolk has a good one. Mutant identification and logging formation.
What the fuck are you going to log on a planet that's been stripped of all its natural resources already?
Log that data.
There are no trees, and y'all ain't got a single cogitator in your base.
Krolk just has another good one for MILF, though. So anyway.
You get an odd sense that she is contemplating some otherworldly force and considering pulling the turrets out on you already. Anywho.
Anywho.
All right. Back to game.
Actually, back to game.
TBD for now.
Back to the universe where we actually have a name.
Yes. Alright, I will take note. Well, considering you are
I assume the
offering...
note. Go ahead. I was just like, I assume that note says these guys are idiots.
Yeah, she scrolls that on the table on the data slate.
But useful idiots.
She turns to you and says, I have something to test you. I have been informed by controversial means, or rather, less than reputable sources, of a potential bit of very useful archaeotech down in a section of the mistress's territory. However, even the mistress herself does not really care to go here. And you may not be surprised as to why, for those of you who've lived here, as it is in the gutter. And
God damn.
to give you a little bit of an idea, the gutter is a local thing. It's very local to like this hive and this part of the hive. But anyone who's lived relatively in the area, which would be CC and 32, would know about this. Sigismund, you'd have no idea what the hell she's talking about. Especially
The
considering you're
gutter
holding...
the gutter sure doesn't sound as a good thing, though. So
Yeah.
I think I get the idea. Go ahead.
The gutter is a region which has been inhabited by varying invasive species, as we had discussed earlier, actually.
Wonderful.
It is a very lush but hostile region. The name stemming from the fact that it used to be part of the sewer infrastructure, but has long been abandoned and is in massive disrepair. Hence why people haven't gone there for a while, and thus adding to the potential plausibility of unknown archaeotech being there, because nobody wants to go there. It is technically within the mistress's territory, but from what it sounds like of what this lady is saying, you will not have any sort of adversity with the gang itself going here, because they likely don't defend this particular bit of their territory. But
All right.
the name of the gutter is not something that you like to hear inherently from all the stories you've heard, CC and 32. Meanwhile, Sigismund is just over here saying, "Oh yeah, it's probably bad."
Yeah, he'll ask later to CC and 32, and they'll just give me an abbreviated version of that.
Gutter
I-
bad.
Yes.
Gutter bad, how bad? Very bad.
But as at this point, she continues on a little bit.
Where the trash collects.
If there's any reasonable plausibility to what my unreliable sources stated, I would pay a good amount for said archaeotech that they have. But if there doesn't happen to be anything, it will give me the justification I finally need to put a bolt round through his head.
Based.
Will you take this job?
Mhm.
If so, I will provide you coordinates.
And for this job, do you know what the pay would be for success?
If you
Or
bring
at least
back
a
the
ballpark.
archaeotech and it is as it says, you'll be somewhere in the range of 50,000 credits at the lowest.
I turned
If you
to
come back
Sigismund and
empty-handed
32.
and confirm that there is no such archaeotech there, I will still pay you a good 10 grand. But somebody else will be getting the billet. And
What
either
if
way,
we confirm it's there, but it's outside of our resources to get?
Then we suck dick.
That's not true. We provide information. We scout the area. Like, if it's just too heavy for us to lift.
this is not a scouting job, this is a retrieval mission. So, accordingly, if you find that it is there and cannot retrieve it for me, there will be no pay.
Fair enough.
After
Understandable.
all, I already vaguely know that there's supposed to be something there. I don't know if it's confirmed, but I've also decided that the area is not worth sending my soldiers in to die. But if you're willing to go there, then we have some work that we can do. And if you come back alive, there will be more work.
I say we accept this. I don't want to keep
Yeah.
talking before I start giving Trisky ideas.
Yeah.
So you guys sort of just like agree to the terms?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look, something's got to happen sometime. This campaign. We can't spend another 3 sessions doing nothing.
Yeah.
Turning
somebody's
down
friendly.
all. Possibly.
Excellent. I have some lovely information for you. Some coordinates of the general region that I've been told it is located in. And some mild rumors that you may want to take into consideration of the area beyond what you already know of the gutter. There has been a belief recently that some of your kin, she points out 32, have made a foothold within the region somehow, under the mistress's nose. There are no full confirmations, as most people who go to said region in the first place do not return, but you may want to keep in mind that there may be a bunch of buff steroided men out there that may want to shoot you as well. So, enjoy the native life, my friends.
Cute Pillar Man theme.
Aye.
I agree.
And with that, she sort of gives you a nod, pulls up her data slate, and then, like, gestures to CC. You do a simple operation to, like, give her your information, give her, like, your address or whatever it is on your data slate such that she can actually send you the coordinates. Because otherwise she would not be able to send you anything unless you breach the network or your, like, local security or something like that. You are provided some coordinates for a location that is, from what you can see on the map, based on your current location, to your east southeast. So like very much more east than south, but still down in that little area. And from her description after giving it to you, you do know that you are going to have to travel through some of the mistress's territory that they do actively defend to reach this location. Whether or not you do that stealthily or charge straight through with guns blazing is up to you. She does not seem to care.
I'm really glad you didn't put us straight into a combat when you said prefers the test. This is my biggest pet peeve to sign for a suicide mission. It's like, wait, we
they
gotta
don't want to
test
get
you
their
first.
floors dirty.
Yeah. Yeah, your test is doing a job for her that she has no particular belief that you will actually get done, and if you manage to surprise her, then you're worth her time.
Yeah, I say this kind of, or I do say this in game, but I kind of turn to Sigismund and 32, and I'm like, think of it this way: the more valuable we prove to be, the less suicidal the jobs may be.
True.
We'll have to get more
Uh,
suicidal because we're valuable.
Also, I want
And the
to.
pay goes up.
I'm not sure if this is 100% true or not, but it might just be that she actually knows 100% that the archaeotech is there, but the part of I'll still pay you if you tell me that there is nothing there is just bait for her, for us to be bullshitted by her, or I'm overthinking this and I'm making Frisky seem way smarter than he is, but I'm not going to allow him to say anything so that he can decide our own interpretation.
Also,
Moving on.
question
can't
for
wait,
a name, something that literally just popped into my head. How does the new Imperial Creed sound for a gang name?
We're not very imperial in this.
Heretical.
My gut
Very-
reaction,
Well,
my
that's
gut,
what my vote's going for.
my gut reaction would
Very
be,
heretical.
my gut reaction would be that would be considered heretical by the like.
Oh,
fucking-
would it?
That would
The
actually
guard would
probably.
be very angry.
You're basically implying that you know better about the Emperor's word than everyone else, and I know it's a pun on her name, but nobody in the ecclesiarchy is going to see it that way.
And neither is Sigismund.
It's a cool name. I'll give you that. I like the idea. In universe, it would be very much seen as heretical. Sadly,
I can't wait to
Understood.
get to this archaeotech and it's Tony Hawk's on the ground too.
I will keep thinking on that. I'll keep thinking on it. I feel like I'm close. I'm close to a good brain spark here.
I thought you were going to just end there. I'm close to a good brain. Moving on.
I got 2 brain cells and they're both fine for 3rd place.
It's a good one. But yeah, at this point, she sort of looks at you over a little bit and says, well, while you are still here, do you have any other business to conduct with me, or will you be off?
Weren't we coming here at first to sell him some Promethean or something?
No,
Or
we
are
already
we just
sold the
driving?
Promethean.
Yeah, you sold
Oh,
that
do we
to
want
the
this key?
Mechanicus guys.
Do you want to see if they'll take some of the
We
cutters?
sold the fucking excess of it to the Mechanicus guys, I'm pretty sure.
We can sell
Yeah,
them
I
the
mean,
cutters that aren't drenched in blood.
Yeah, I mean that's not a horrible idea. I think keeping the 3 though is like fine. Worst case, we have 3 cutters, and then we have Creed sell it, or we have David sell it.
I'm just asking if we can sell it now while we're surrounded by an armory.
True.
You could attempt to negotiate a deal with her about that. Whether or not you are getting a good price for what you're selling is a different matter. You may or may not know, depending on how good your rolls are, whether or not you're getting scammed. That's
Well, I
usually
mean-
how things work.
I'm pretty sure this place is in desperate need of cars. This
We
is
also
definitely not
acquired
a
them pro bono, so
yeah for free.
pretty much anything comes out at kind of a profit.
You're thinking about selling a car.
Yeah, I Christianed one, but instead of a wine bottle, I used the head of an enemy.
Mazel tov.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah. Then the details of the job will be essentially summed up and then given to us, because I assume that it's not exactly on hand. So in the meantime, what should we do while we're here?
We could also just see if you have anything to sell in general. That's the whole reason we went out in the first place.
We do have some credits in our bank.
You have a small amount. You could see if anything remotely good is something that you might be able to afford. What you can basically expect from these guys at this point is that everything will be sold at basically like a 2 times markup still.
Mm-hmm.
2 times. Ah.
I would say that
200%.
we get in the better graces and then we start wheeling and dealing.
I mean, it's
Man,
a catch-22
pissed.
back and forth between getting this extra tools to help you out with the mission and potentially help you survive, or hold out until you can get them for cheaper.
Oh, I guess that's true. I don't know what we might need on this mission other than I think we're going to be going up against Goliaths, but we don't actually know much about that area yet, do we? That's what we're going to
Well,
be told about or briefed.
what I will say is that CC and 32, you've both heard numerous rumors about what actually lives in the gutter. If you wanted to, you could roll I believe it's just common lore for you.
I would
And
love
depending
to.
on your results, I may give you some more information on a couple things you might want to know about. CC's conclusion is gutter bad. 32's conclusion is gutter bad, and you might want some... Well, for 32, this isn't a problem, but he does manage to think that it might be a good idea to recommend that you two get some form of a rebreather or otherwise air filtering device, as he does know that some of the native life do have poisonous spores that they spew.
Gotcha. Probably worth buying at least 2 more.
And you may need to get replacement cartridges, as said spores are very sticky.
Rebreathers, antidotes.
Okay.
Do they have better army?
Yeah.
I just want armor that doesn't affect my agility.
Yeah. I'll ask her. Rebreathers, and then also some replacement cartridges, possibly some antidotes, and to kind of tally that up, and that
So, who's kept track of how many credits you all have?
I believe I have it somewhere on my character sheet. I thought I kept it there purposefully.
And to give you an idea of what you're looking at for the rebreathers immediately, everything is going to be
3,500.
all right. Let me give you an idea of what you're looking for the rebreathers alone, and you can sort of think about it a little bit. At base price, at market price, rebreathers cost 50, so you would be buying them from her for about 100. She doesn't have very many that she's willing to part with because she has her troops to stock, but she does have some excess. What she is willing to part with a bit more, and that you will probably need more, are the cartridges, which cost half as much as a rebreather. So if you want a cartridge, that would be 50 per cartridge, and each cartridge lasts about an hour. You won't be 24/7 encased in this region of spores, but you will want
we could probably get
a pretty good amount.
Gotcha. So an initial cartridge, and then probably 2 replacement cartridges each, at least for me and Sigismund, because his rebreather is kind of hooked up to like a network, isn't it? Like it's not really a big deal for him. Like he doesn't have to replace his cartridges.
I
like,
could probably
as
huff
often.
the spores and be perfectly fine.
Gotcha.
He
Well,
has
how
some...
about we'll do 3 apiece, so that if you need like a good toke of fresh air, that you don't have to kind of just like suffer through it.
I'm about 80% drug at this point.
So you do have the one thing that 32 does have is the lost stock augmentation, which does make it easier. Like if it's an easy toxin check, to resilience check for toxin, he doesn't even make the check, but you'd know that these are going to be worse than that. So basically, you reduce the difficulty of toxin checks, but you do not have immunity.
Yeah. I reduced the difficulty twice.
Yeah.
So if it was hard, it's easy.
Yeah. So
And what is
if
the
it,
toxin check based off?
resilience.
How
It's
about
a
we just
resilience
get
check.
6? We'll get 6 of them total, and then 2 breathers.
I mean,
That
you'll supposedly be close enough that you can swap them between who actually needs them at any time.
yeah.
So it would
But
be a total of 200 for the rebreather. Do you already have rebreathers, CC or Sigismund?
No, I do not.
So we need 2 rebreathers and 6 cartridges.
Yep. And each rebreather itself comes with a cartridge already, so you would have 6 spare cartridges.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Because worst cases, we just have a couple on hand. So, I will just kind of mark down into my notes that I have a rebreather. I assume that you're going to do the same, Sigismund.
Yep.
Just to mark that you have one.
May I ask if she
you
has
can-
a...
It is an item in the thing, so you can actually drag it to your
Oh,
sheet from gear.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm going to do that.
May I ask you if she has a carapace plate?
Carapace plate.
Yep.
Let me
Carapace
just...
chest plate.
So, most of the stuff that she's going to have is mainly based on, like, rarity in the actual market. Generally, if I recall correctly about Genesys, items below rarity 7 can be found at most vendors. So, Carapace chestplate is something she would have. She would charge you 2k for it.
That's not awful.
So
I think I have 500
200
credits on me
How much
by
was
myself.
each cartridge? We got 6, so 300 extra.
Two rebreathers, so that costs 200, and you got 6, so that's another 300. It's 500 total.
Where's the gutter on the map?
Actually, no, sorry. Yeah, it is 50 on. Oh, is south, east southeast. So I will mark it briefly on the world map with just like a generic icon for now, and then I'll get something better later on.
Is there any chance we could drive through like a market before we get there?
There
Oh,
are no
yeah,
markets
we're
you know
probably
of,
gonna stop
especially
at one.
considering you're also basically in contested territory already.
Son of a bit. Listen, I'll leave it up to y'all. I would like it, but it's our money.
What is it that you're trying to get so that I fully understand?
Carapace chestplate. It has the same defense of my current. Plus,
gives him more
has the same soak. The same soak plus 1 defense, and I don't have any negatives. Because currently I have -2 to all my
And how much was it? You said 2 grand?
2K.
Ooh, that would put us down to only 1,000 credits left. But how about this? Out of the reward that we would split, give half of what you would get to me and Sigismund. And I think
Yeah,
that'll
that's
be
fine. I legitimately
it's
don't
kinda
need
split.
much as a
That's
character.
fine. Yeah. Let's do that then. There we go. I moved our digital down to 1K. I definitely do not hate the idea of our...
Tank getting armor.
Yes. Exactly.
I have put a general location for the gutter on the world map, which I think you should be able to navigate to yourself at this point. Oh, permissions, all players. Cool. Now you should be able to see it as you see fit. So you should be able to click back and forth between the world map and the active scene at your will.
What's the
It's
difference between light carapace and just normal carapace?
Light carapace.
There's Enforcer light.
Enforcer light carapace is...
Is it just better? Just like slightly... I know it has more hard points.
Yeah, hard points are good for modification, so if you want to modify it more, you would want the Enforcer like Carapace. That is the main thing. It is also generally the armor that are owned by the closest equivalent to the Popo in this area. The Enforcers are the police of the Underhive, and they are about as you would expect Judge Dreddy to be.
Do you happen to know the name of the rebreather cartridges?
They do not have their own item on there, actually. It just mentions it in part of the text for the rebreather.
Gotcha. Respirator.
So,
I don't think they have any weight. Oh, they do.
The cartridges do not
Respirator
have any
weight.
weight. The respirator itself does.
Okay, I'll just keep it in my notes how many cartridges I have.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Enforcer Carapace is probably as high as you can find at a normal vendor.
Yeah. And knowing how it would work, Enforcer like Carapace would be the shit that you would find that they pilfered off of the cops. So, not many are going to want to actively boast about it, but they will have it in stock. And keep in mind, I did say more common vendors, and in this case, you are talking to somebody about, like, common things that you can buy from them. They have more advanced stuff, but you have not, like, if there's, like, a trust level that you have to reach at the bare minimum in a video game, you have not reached that trust level to access more of their stock. Okay, she won't sell everything to you yet.
Mm-hmm.
So, as of right now, a good rule of thumb is rarity 7 and below for any items that you can potentially get.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm pretty good. I mean, the only thing I would really get would probably be a couple more, like, carbine bolts, but even then, I still have... I've been very sparing with my ammo. At least that ammo. I should have... I did add the ammo. So... yeah, bolt ammo, I still have 15.
Just to correct what I said earlier, Power Maul is the one-handed, like, mace kind of version of the power weapon.
Yeah.
What you would be wanting is probably the Thunder Hammer, which is the heavy version. That is rarity 10.
I'm going to get that goddamn hammer.
I guess I should ask, is there... they have some stuff like this in D&D where it's like bandoliers and other such items that allow you to take the weight of an item. Like, my carbine and my sub-revolver each have, like, a kinda higher encumbrance on them. Is there, like, a better tool or, like, a better something I can have on me to help reduce the encumbrance? Or is it more I should kind of just choose between the two?
It is a bit of a trade-off. I have not really perused through all the item attachments, though, so you may want to give a look through that at some point.
Yeah, I'll do that offline.
There is also there's an equivalent to, there's a sort of equivalent to backpacks in a way that you can get that is more intended for, like, ammo and stuff. Specifically, it's the combat vest, which gives you a bit more encumbrance. Gotcha. It adds 2 encumbrance to have a combat vest. They would cost 200 if you wanted to buy it from her.
Yeah. I will just
leave
my stub revolver in the car, and I'm just gonna have my carbine from now on, because the carbine, I don't know, it's like my baby. It's like getting the new toy. It's like, I love my revolver. It's like always served me well, but eventually...
Steve, before you subtract anything from yours, I have 480 credits on me. Of just my own money.
Well, I meant I would put my stub revolver up. I'm not getting rid of it. I'm just putting it in the car. It's now my car weapon.
I meant for the purchase all the equipment.
There is also something really funny called, it's an item attachment called Backpack Ammo Supply.
Alright, useful.
It can be attached to any gun without the backpack quality, which some of them already do, because you need a backpack to use a hell gun, for example. But it means that the gun is fed by a backpack for ammo instead of the usual way. you can fire a lot longer, but in order to reload, you have to wait until after combat because it takes that long.
So TLDR, we are allowed to look for stuff if it's under 7 rarity
Yeah,
right now.
you have a chance to buy basically anything within reason, 7 rarity or lower. Some items just realistically she won't have. It like feudal based equipment and whatnot. She won't have any of the feudal armor, so that doesn't make sense. She wouldn't be.
Does she have crossbow bolts with explosive attached to them? Because that is one of the special ammunition types.
She would have the materials to make them, but she would not have them. Crossbows aren't basically standard equipment in the Dautus Adept, so they aren't something that they commonly do.
I'm not able to alter the weight of the stub revolver just to keep it on my sheet as a car weapon, so I will just put it in my notes that I have one, and then I'll pull it up later as needed. I'm sure there's a way for us to edit it.
The little edit thing on the right of it is just next to the trash can symbol on the sheet.
Yeah, I couldn't.
You can
find the
manually
encumbrance. Skill status price.
It's the little notebook-looking thing just next to the trash can there, if you can see that.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't see the weight.
It's encumbrance.
Oh, yep.
It's called income.
Yep.
No.
Appreciated. I'll fix that.
Like, so yeah, you can add it back on, set to like 0 encumbrance, but just like write that you don't have it on your person.
Only.
I just want to mention how ammo is, or special ammo is supposed to be tracked by the system to not do it manually. If you get a certain number of fucking fails or ruin or whatever on a roll, that can be spent to run out of ammo.
Yeah.
So if you are using a special ammo type, that's gone. Or one amount of it is gone.
Yeah, it gets consumed at that point. The way that backpack works is you don't run out of ammo unless you roll like a crit failure.
Ooh, they'll probably have mono here.
Oh, we could try buying grenades.
Mono gives my melee weapon 1 pierce and lowers the crit rating by 1. I already rolled 7 dice for it.
Alright.
Mm.
Last thing
Alright,
of
boys,
note.
we got a list of what we're buying.
Oh shit. We sent out. We never. Oh crap. We never went home to get a hold of the stems that David was gonna give us.
And then I also asked him, hey, can you look for bolts maybe if you find any?
Yeah. I assume they're gonna have stem packs, but they're gonna be more expensive.
Well, there's nothing saying you're not allowed to go home before you go on this endeavor.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
She didn't put
rather
a
than
timetable
spending
on you.
money.
Yep.
Mhm.
Also,
We're just
flamer
moving quickly
is,
because we don't have anything else to do.
a flamer
Yeah.
costs 1,400 credits.
Yeah, so 1,400 if you buy it from her is 2,800, by the way.
Understandable.
It's 200% market price from the Dautus Adept, and assume about the same from any regular vendor at this point. You're going to start building relationships to get more reasonable prices for anything.
Alright, gentlemen, we got a list together of what we're buying. We got rebreathers. We got the armor.
And the cartridges. I think that's about it out of the digital.
Alright,
yeah?
2 rebreathers, 6 cartridges, and a carapace chest plate.
Yeah, and then they didn't have any bolts. Yes.
We can buy materials to make some.
We might have some whenever we get home.
Real quick, Pfeiffer, make sure you grab a rebreather and not a respirator because they are different tools.
Oh, yep. Yep.
Rebreather is immunity, respirator is resistance.
Kitch. Rebreather. Boop. There we go. All right. I think we are all
Ne-
good. We will return to base. Hopefully get
Hmm.
stuff so we don't die.
Respirator. So the trade off is respirators aren't immunity; they're resistance, but you don't have to replace cartridges. So they don't require a constant supply of cartridges. They can't run out, and they're not time limited. So that's the difference between the two. In case you're curious, in this system.
I'm just gonna send the main things that I would be interested in the chat. Because, yeah.
Here, give me just to keep things organized.
Oh, yeah, shopping channel there.
Acquisitions.
I'm not copy and delete this from here and go. Which one of these would I be able to buy the materials for?
Incendiary bolts would be pretty straightforward. Shard bolts. Shard bolts would be easy. They're already pretty straightforward in them in and of
Yeah.
themselves. Thermal bolts would be a little bit harder.
Yeah. I think that I would go for the incendiary bolts and only use them once we find someone who's tankier. I'm gonna say what they normally cost as well because yeah. Heretics match 160.
Heretics match incendiary bolts are 160, so accordingly 320 from this provider.
So yeah, we would mostly be buying the materials and it would be Faye for crafting them instead, I assume.
I can most
And
likely craft
Pfeiffer would
them.
have to roll me a check to craft them.
Absolutely.
if you
Especially
fail
whenever
some
we're
of the-
like back at the base anyway, yeah.
Yep, you'll get a bit of a bonus when you're back at the base, but since you have to craft it yourself, there is a small chance that you waste the materials, so be careful.
Either waste the materials or make shittier arrows. If we get a lot of
If you
stress,
make
maybe.
shittier arrows, they effectively act as regular arrows, so it's effectively
I
the
was
same
going
thing.
to think like a less fire quality or something if we get a lot of stress.
Don't we have to pass
Yeah.
by the actual market part of town literally on the way back where we wouldn't be buying things at a 100% markup?
You would still generally be buying things around the same markup.
So this
Makes sense
is
then. I have
320.
400 of my own credits. Or, sorry, do you have any of your own credits that you want to spend, or do you want to spend from the 1,000 that we have digitally? I'm fine
I got
with either.
480.
I mean, if you're fine with spending the digital ones, I
Yeah,
will.
I'll spend the digital. Okay. Do you want to
Uh,
get 2?
Oh,
Or wait,
I
Uh,
could
how much are the
I don't know
materials?
who
Sorry.
to accept this trade thing that you're trying to start up with the GM with.
We could go for 2 just so that in case you screw up one
Decline.
roll,
So-
I
yeah.
am pretty good at it. Not screwing things up, but
Yeah. Or
Do it
no,
again.
Actually,
I didn't have the shared inventory up to actually accept it as an actor. I
let
need
me
to put
check
something
how
in the
much
box.
yen for the shard bolts are.
Not
Shard
do that.
bolts are 125, so they are 250.
Yep.
I say I go once shard bolts for 250, and then another one heretics match.
For 320.
Yep.
So
All
grand
right,
total.
shopkeep. What's our total?
Grand total for Sigismund is 570. I don't know if you have a personal stash of money that you can take from for that.
70. Yeah, I have it here. So that leaves us with 430 digital credits.
breaking the bank a little bit, but it's about as best as you're gonna do.
Hey, that's fine. That's fine. Upgrades all around.
And if you
A little bit of
manage-
money here saves a little bit of death later.
you'll be making just about more
Um,
than 4 times as much if you successfully bring back the information that's not even there, or much more than that if you bring back the actual thing itself.
I was like, oh yeah, I should buy some bolter ammo, and then I'm like, nope, that's 300 a round. We're gonna wait.
Yeah.
I got 15.
I feel a lot less bad about buying armor.
You're fine. I mean, you have been taking a lot of damage, so it makes sense. All right,
Helps
so
me. No.
purchases and economy have been performed. After all of the trade negotiations finishes up, she bids you adieu with a look of maybe they'll come back, maybe they won't. I don't give a shit. I have a base to run. And you proceed back to base with your vehicle.
Yep.
Yep.
Roll me 1 driving check, CC.
Absolutely. I've swear that all right, I have two yellow. I've put a lot into my driving. I've gotten better, I swear. God damn it.
Not a single glory has been used this session. Would you like to use a glory?
On double yellow? Fuck. Yes. Damn it. All right, I clicked it. All right. Ha. What the fuck?
Oh, I'm so
I have
sorry.
double yellow. I have double yellow.
Yeah, but
Why
the guy
can't I drive?
died.
Should have gone with the advantages, IDK, man.
Alright, stand aside. It's time for me to fail my driving
It's fine.
check.
It's fine. It's fine. I will take a check failed over a failure with advantages.
A wash.
Yeah, I'd rather just take the wash and it be like another hole got put in the side.
Alright,
Yeah,
now I gotta do driving.
While the cutters don't have any issue whatsoever along the ride back, you do wind up coming into some stuff that you have to spend a more than significant amount of time navigating about to avoid puncturing your tires. As you know, the inevitable result of running over the massive amount of shattered glass from some form of battle that occurred shortly before you arrived here would inevitably do to your car if you just decide to run over it.
Wait, you guys are driving the cutters home, yeah?
Yeah, the cutters have no issue, but they're waiting for you, so you
Oh.
still have to wait.
Shut up!
I already fucking said that the cutters have no issue.
I'm trying to
the first
keep
thing I
Steve
said.
from making this roll.
No, I wanted you to roll. If I'm surrounded by failure, I feel better.
Hey, time out. I grabbed Carapace armor. We did buy that, right? I didn't put that in
Yes.
acquisitions.
Oh, yes.
Alright. Who knows? Maybe I can get him to Frankenstein, the feudal world plating Carapace armors together.
You're just taking super glue and you're like, I'm a fucking genius.
Hey, 32, Sigismund, give me a vigilance check.
Sir, yes, sir. Throwing back.
Wait, do I get my +1?
From
Or
your
do I-
drugs.
No, that's only for initiative.
Sigismund, let me paint a scene for you in 32 in just a second when I close my door because he's listening to the audiobook out in the kitchen. Okay! So, here's the image for you. Sigismund and 32 are driving along with CC. CC is going slower as he now has to navigate around rubble and glass and such, but you two decide to scout ahead a short ways. as you're driving ahead a short bit of time, not too far, because you want to make sure you can get back to CC with a very quick time frame should anything happen, you come across something unexpected. Sigismund, as you're driving along, you notice the very faintest glimmer of something in the distance as you're driving along, and in your suspicion, you screech your cutter to a halt. 32, however, sees nothing of the sort and is distracted as he proceeds to continue along, only to get knocked off the cutter by a thin yet very strong wire stretching across the path.
Oh boy.
Falling to the ground, take one strain.
Yo. Let me roll to land on my feet.
Okay, I'll allow you in athletics to see if you can pick your ass up. If you fail, you
Alright.
take a strain.
Ow!
Why
You got
do
a
we
triumph
always-
and advantages, so you can.
Why
you
do
can.
we always get triumphs but no successes?
Yeah. You still take the strain, but damn, you looked cool while doing it.
I landed on my
Almost
feet,
cuts a
that
backflip.
land-
Unfortunately, my feet hit the wire.
Oh
Yeah.
God! I imagine you hit the ground and you were like, "Don't worry, I made sure to straighten my knees before I landed." Makes
And with
my
a flop
joints hurt.
backwards on the ground, you watch as your cutter, now no longer being within any of the fuel being like hit for the acceleration, slowly comes to a halt off in the distance. But just as you're about to stand yourself up and start walking over to retrieve your vehicle that you've been dismounted from, a thought crosses your mind. Why the fuck is there a wire there?
I'm pretty sure my first thought would be ambush.
And you would have a very good thought as multiple gun flash muzzles come out, and now you can see the shining from various bits of rubble around you as you hear a female voice scream, "You bloody thieves!"
That's not true. I won this through a trial of combat.
And
They didn't agree to the trial, but that doesn't matter.
and you skirt away as multiple las gun, bolt gun rounds and whatnot shoot at your feet comically as you run away, stormtrooper style.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
Fucking A.
Hey.
You have just encountered a group of Escher gangers as you briefly are still passing through the contested territory between the Dautus Adept and the Mistress's forces.
Escher. I hardly know her. I'll take one strain.
Take one corruption instead.
No!
Pun detected. Punitive shock administered. God.
All right. I am going to do myself a favor before I do anything worse to you and just roll for one of them to shoot at you, CC, and make that
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, they don't have a bolt gun on their sheet. Let me fix that.
Huh, they seem to be missing a plasma rifle. Let me just...
Hey, if they're carrying bolt ammo, and I need bolt ammo.
Well, you asked and God delivered. Obviously, the Emperor is
You
me.
are lucky.
Ooh,
You shoot wide.
yes, I am.
That's a wash in your favor for once.
Man, how many successes have we had since I started joining the session?
I don't
It's
know.
gotta be pretty heavily outweighed by the failures.
I've spent at least 100 experience on my driving, and I still suck.
Yeah. Well, we have started combat with your
Yes.
ambushes. Marius is still on cutter.
Yep, and I have
CC
no fucking...
CC, your CC and Equire are still in the car. Portman's on his own cutter, and the cutter that 32 was driving on is now closer to the enemy than you.
Shit.
All right, is this where we roll for initiative? Or?
Yep.
Roll. What's that for initiative this time around? And also, wasn't there a specific spot to roll initiative?
I believe it's in the... Oh yeah, I have to add you guys to combat.
Yeah, and then you have to say, oh
And
yeah, I
there's
get
a
one free
dice in the
success.
encounter thing.
I need to remember to place my one free success.
I get +1 as well.
So on the game, just the button just right of the little chat icon in the top right is the fist for the encounter. Go in there, click on the die icon in there. In this case, we are doing vigilance because you are being ambushed. Not cool.
Yep, vigilance. One success.
Okay, hold on. I'm checking to see if I get a success or if I just get
Oh,
plus.
Sigismund. Damn.
Add 1. Okay, I get 1 success.
I have a lot of funny dice because I...
Jeez.
I just get a success for free.
6
Dang.
success. I mean, honestly, it's good to see. It's good to see a W on the board.
Boys, I think things would look it up.
We say, knowing full well that I
Anyways,
started this encounter with...
I need to fucking litany of hate and battle
We-
him.
I say that looking down at the bottom right of my screen, knowing all 4 of those runes are going on me.
Look, the more you say it, the more I'm likely to do it to you just to spite you. Stop fucking talking about it and you might get away with it for once.
Yeah, but this is the comedy of the show.
Shushay.
Gazoon type.
You're gonna get hit for that. I feel it in my bones.
I get everything I deserve.
Yep. You do. Alright. Give me just 1 second to properly set up a very rudimentary map on here. I don't have proper
Okay.
stats set up for... It's not a proper map. It's just going to be a blank thing for the combat, but it'll serve nonetheless for
Totally
what
fine.
is
The amount
necessary.
of times I've used MS Paint to just be like I just like scribble stuff in. They're like, "What is that?" I'm like, "It's a rock." They're like, "It doesn't look like a rock," and I'm like, "Looks like you're going last."
Yep.
Talk
That's about how it
shit
works.
about my rock.
I just need to drag Equire on and then put in some of the tokens for the Escher gangers. The next comedy is a crit headshot coming your way. Fucking Dick Skulk over here prolonging your doom.
Dear God, we fell into the Unity engine.
You knew what was coming, soldier. But yeah, they are in various forms of cover, which is going to give them an extra bit of defense against your shots in retaliation.
So, I have a quick question about this group. Are
Yes.
they all a minion group, or are they?
It is a minion group, so it is a
Alright.
total of 7. They're just shooting from different locations.
I need to ask for one of my abilities.
They are acting as a minion squad, so yes. If your abilities rely on that, then yes.
I can only target a single adversary, so it's either one person or a minion group.
I don't see the active encounter right now, but yeah.
Oh, did it reset or some shit?
No, it's in the world map, that's why.
Oops, I may have boo-booed. Delete it over there. Well, do you remember the numbers? If not, I'll put it back together. I know.
Mine was a 6.
6.2 because of advantages. CC was 1.2, and 32
That
was
was
a
a 2 something.
2.1. 2.1. And I'm just going to keep it simple that player characters are going to outstrip NPCs and enemies in speed
Mhm.
if they roll the same.
Do you know the name of the rounds that were in the stub revolver? Or what ammo it uses?
The sub revolver will generally tell you if you look it up. Scarce ammo is one of the things about it. I need less to make your stub revolver run out of ammo.
Mhm.
But they're like slug rounds of a sort.
Gotcha.
Alright, everyone is added back in again. I just need a roll for the opposing group.
Do you need me to roll again, but we'll set it up how it was before
Yeah,
or
just
something?
manually re-roll yourselves again.
Yeah. Because I know that it's easier in Mordheim to change fucking initiative numbers once rolled. I have the 1.06 now.
Alright, this one is CC. CC got a 1.2. Initially, is that right?
Yes, I believe so.
When we rolled on the other map, that's why I was meaning. Yep, 1.2.
Yeah.
I got 2. I didn't know if we were re-rolling again or just rolling.
We're re-rolling, so I have something I can modify to reflect properly. Equire's one is already what it is. I'm just going to re-roll yours real quick and manually adjust it.
1, 2.
That effectively still works. Okay, cool. All right. So, at the top of combat is our friend Sigismund riding atop one of the cutters.
Yep.
You have, suffice it to say, pretty good mobility on that thing. But if you need to do any stark turns or anything, you are going to have to do a driving test or risk issue.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm gonna spend my action on using Litany of Hate.
All right.
Select a group for which you have the hatred talent as an action. Make an average leadership test. I'll do that first. There.
All right.
If successful, a number of targets within earshot equal to your presence gain the hatred talent. Targeting the same group. This effect lasts until the number. This effect lasts until the end of the encounter. It's a bit bullshit that it's equal to your presence, and it doesn't take any advantages or whatever in mind, but whatever.
So, what is your presence?
My present is 3.
So everyone involved except for Portland, probably. Portman.
Yeah.
Who I
Yeah,
haven't
that's fair.
rolled for, so.
So they all get hatred, which means that they get blue dice to rolling against the Asher, because I have a hatred talent for them.
Alright. So, you hate the Escher. They hate you back. Feelings mutual, but they don't have the hatred perk against you.
Yep, and then I'll do battle hymns, because obviously as a maneuver.
Alright, so buffing everyone for a blue die.
Yep.
And this is all coming from the back of somebody on top of a loud motorcycle ass thing in the midst of all this.
That's an impressive voice.
With that in mind, it is.
Hey, look, man, I have a lot, Heller.
Yeah.
With
that in mind.
So, what direction is my bike facing? I assume
Forward.
towards where 32 is.
It is either facing due east or due west. It really doesn't matter, but just pick one and go with it. Because you
I'll-
skidded to like a halt just before this happened.
How much strain do I need to use for an additional maneuver so I can move a bit?
I think it was 2.
I'll take 2 strain to move a bit to the east.
Alright.
So like 20 feet probably.
Yeah, so not very far.
Either let's say that I'm going backwards or something, but yeah.
Alright. Next would be 32's turn.
Huh. Or if I get two of these people. I'm going to go up here. Go up there, take aim, and swing.
And you get a billion buffs.
Yep. Yeah, so remind him
So I'm
what
going to-
Hatred does temporarily for him.
It gives you a blue dice towards targeting people of your hatred.
And you also get another blue dice from his general thing.
Blue dice to... Yeah, while making attacks against them. Meanwhile, Battle Hymn gives you blue dice to everything.
I assume this is a average check.
Let me double check their defense real quick, but it should be.
Actually, is that aim? I'm going to...
Aim gives you a blue dice, yes?
Yeah, I'm going to guard
Yeah.
instead. I don't need more blue dice. Let's be real here.
Yep, they
I
have
was
they have
making sure I was reading through.
they have melee defense 1, so base is 2 at 1.
Add 1. So 3
Yep.
difficulty.
Yep.
Alright. Which, look at that, I crit.
Amazing.
I
course it
don't
says
think that person survived.
Roll damage or do damage. You didn't roll as your weapon, you just rolled generic melee heavy, so.
Oh, yeah.
Just mention what your damage is for now.
And the crit effect if it matters in this circumstance.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
it
you
is
rolled the same
Historian
shit.
6. I
Nice.
didn't even add the dice.
Yeah, that is still accurate though, because you rolled 4 successes and 1 advantage on that roll.
What are the odds?
Yeah.
Just built different.
Right, 15 damage.
And she's the Zorian 6, and she's knocked down. Assuming she's breathing.
Oh, give me just 1 second. Which one do I have in the initiative order? I have that one in the initiative order. I'm gonna readjust that one and then redo them. They all accidentally already have wounds on them. I just need to readjust. There, fixed. Alright, now they're appropriate, and they're all linked again. The first one that you go up to, you take your hammer, and you sledge her hard under the chin, knocking presumably brain matter out of her head as she goes flying into her compatriot and hits them hard. The other ganger there looks like they are worse for wear, but they are not dead.
Alright, what should I do? I thought about guarding. You know what? This is when I use a challenge. I'm going to challenge this group.
What does 32 say to challenge?
Next. One. Just count 1. Point the hammer. 2,
Alright,
3.
so challenge. How does challenge work? Remind me.
If you target anyone but me, you get 2 black die. If you target me, you get 1 blue.
Gotcha. Easier to hit you, harder to hit anyone else.
Yeah.
Okay. Next would be, I believe, Cece's turn. No, it's that's Equire's turn.
Mhm.
Because that's actually what he rolled, and he rolled a 1.02. All right. Equire is going to utilize the mounted turret on the car, which is actually where he's supposed to be, and use the mounted swivel heavy stubber. I really should just, add the fucking gun to his sheet instead of messing around with this every single time. Unique custom items. Mounted swivel heavy stubber. Cool. It is now on his sheet. I need to equip it. Probably already had it. Did he? What the fuck? I can't just drag it onto a sheet because it's a fucking car gun. Okay.
Sorry, do you need me to change that? Or so
No,
I thought you
I
were talking about my car gun. I was like, wait. I was like, you were doing what? I understand now.
I am going to do this. I am going to adjust. I gave him a ballista, but I never updated his damage to represent the swivel gun. So I'm just going to fix it now. Because it was one of the few gunnery things that I could find that were on sheets. Alright, I'll have to fix the iconography and whatnot later, but that doesn't really matter so much right now. I did not link the actor data. I am smart. I am one whole smart. I have a degree in smart.
He's the smartest man I've ever known.
Alright. Just fixing some of the icons real quick. I am coordinated for combat. I hate doing this, but it is necessary to properly display everything for everyone to see. Alright. He is going to take a swivel-mounted gun and shoot at the one that's basically behind you, thus incurring 2 black dice, correct? Because you have challenge? Actually, no, it's your ally. Never mind, I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
Right. I'm thinking the other way around.
Yeah, that'd be
So
real
they're-
fucked up if it.
My friends have to shoot me too!
Coward!
Equire on the back fires off the mounted swivel heavy stubber at the Eschers along the side, and in his sweep, knocks out 2 of them with brisk and well-timed shots. I'm just going to give this one the dead symbol because the rest of them are not dead. Okay, they're all showing the dead symbol. Shit.
It's okay, as long as we don't zoom in far enough, it doesn't look bad.
There. Alright, it would now be Cece's turn.
Wonderful. I will use my stub revolver. I would like to shoot at the group that is to my left.
Alright. Select one of them, make sure they're your active target, and then give a shot for me.
Wonderful. Difficulty 2.
Yep.
Okay. Did that work? Like, did I select the correct people?
You have 2 more blue dice if you're shooting.
So click on one of their tokens, right click on it, and do the little target sign in the bottom left.
Right click. Why isn't that working? Oh, they have like a little, like arrows around them. I think it worked.
Okay, yeah, that should be good then.
Yeah. All right. 1 second. I will roll
If
that
they're
again, but
targeted, they
instead-
should look like this that I posted in the Discord for you.
And those are my blue dice.
All right, you got a success and an advantage from the blue dice, so you do succeed. You deal 8 damage with your shot. You hit one pretty violently in the shoulder, but you do not succeed at successfully taking them all the way down.
Also, looks like if I just double click with, like, if I double right click on it, it targets. I don't
Yep,
get
that
like a
might
drop
also
down
work, too.
menu or anything.
Yep.
All right, so that was your shot there.
Can I move to be a little bit more like on the edge of the car just for a little bit better cover against them?
Technically, you're inside of the car.
Oh,
I just
yeah,
moved the
sorry, I
tokens
would've-
around a little bit for visibility.
Gotcha. Then I guess before I shot, I will have moved out and kind of like to the back bumper of the car.
All right, so you're taking cover around the back of the car, and then you take a shot.
Yeah.
All right,
Yes.
that's fair enough for me. Next shot would be from Portman, who is also technically in the vehicle, steps out, very, very straightforwardly, targets one of the Escher girls up to his northeast, and takes a shot with his simple weapon. I believe he only has like a las pistol, yes. He's a bit proficient with it, but he does not manage
He
to get a
failed.
shot in, as he fires a laser that whizzes overhead as the Escher woman ducks into cover. Now that that is all set and done, the group...
This is for Portman.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, he
Portman.
still gets a
Oh, yeah.
blue.
Okay,
One blue
let me-
because he got that hatred.
Yeah, right.
With my
Yeah.
2
It's
advantages, could I
Nothing,
give
it's alright.
someone an extra
Nothing.
blue?
Equar would have also
Nice.
rolled 2 blues, but he already murdered the person, so...
Doesn't
Yeah, you
matter.
don't really need it.
I was gonna ask if I can inspire Equire for his next, or sorry, Portman for his next attempt to shoot. Since I had 2, I think I had 2 advantages, or do I need 3? Because I had a success and 2 advantages on my
You need
shot. I
3
just forgot to
advantages.
use. Oh, okay, no problem. I just wanted to make sure I was properly using them. It's a tough world out here. Got to make sure you can use whatever advantages you can get a hold of.
Alright, so I have 4 ganger ladies still alive that are going to be shooting at you guys. They respectively seem to be carrying common bolt guns.
At least I'm in cover against like 2 of them.
They take shots at the more exposed Sigismund, the 2 of them at least, which will incur those black die. So one of them shoots wide. You duck aside a little bit on your cutter. And the other one gets a shot into you, dealing 11 damage minus whatever soak you have, Sigismund. However, the 3 threats...
So this is for me.
Yeah, that's on you.
11 damage minus my soak.
Yeah.
Minus
That's
2 from your
8.
soak.
I have 3 soak.
Nice.
That's so you only get 1 soak.
So 8. Big damage.
Takes a pretty penny out of you. However, you do hear a click noise shortly afterwards as they begin to unjam their gun. So one of them can't fire next turn due to the threats that got transposed. The others,
I believe you've taken that from your. I think you took that from your strain.
minions don't have strain really.
No, I meant.
No, I think he was talking
Sigismund.
to Sigismund. Or
Oh
is the
yeah,
blue
you
the-
don't. You put the damage on your strain, not on your
Not on your
wounds.
wounds.
You mean wounds.
So you would have 12 wounds and 0 blue. See what we mean? Unless you're doing it from your sheet, in which case we have it the other way around. Marius?
I'm doing it from my sheet.
I
Yep.
need to use one maneuver to keep chanting.
Nope, he did do it on... No, he didn't do it on his wounds. Oh, is your token not linked? What the fuck?
Yeah.
There, now it's linked properly. It's at 2 strain currently. Put in your 10 wounds. That would be
10, not 8.
It's
Or,
Pierce
yeah.
too.
minus...
Here's 2, so it ignores Soka, right? 10.
Jump in the car!
Yeah.
Jump in the car.
Jump in the car! You can chant from the car, we'll get you speakers!
I tried. I challenged him. It didn't work.
This megaphone is for the Emperor!
How was I supposed to know he was going to actually roll
Maybe-
well? It's unprecedented.
I assume that
know.
Equire is also inside of the fucking car.
Equire is in the car, but he's in the gunner seat up top, so he is exposed.
Can
However,
I-
the other 2 are closer to a certain individual who challenged them.
Can I maneuver, keep chanting, action, shoot, and maneuver, run into the car?
You can when it's your turn, but I still have 2 other gangers that haven't shot.
Understandable, once the other gangers are over.
There's 1 failed. And that one's a success, 11 damage minus your soak, 32. Did you have, it still says mesh vest on your sheet. Wait, no, never mind, that's the Escher Ganger sheet. I'm dumb. Alright, yep. So yeah, Treova, you just take 11 minus your soak damage, and you've already done that, so that is now the end of their turn. Now it is actually your turn, Sigismund. So yeah, you want to scramble into the vehicle?
Yeah. Scramble
you-
into the vehicle, and I need to fucking get strain from that, and I want to shoot before scrambling inside.
You take a rabid shot as you're scrambling into the vehicle. I will offer you a deal. You can take the shot without inducing strain, but you have to take the shot with 2 black.
It's not the shot that induces me strain, it's maneuvering as in moving and then having to chant, because I need to keep
Yep,
using a
I know.
maneuver to
I'm
keep chanting, but
offering
yeah.
you an alternate deal if you want to take it.
So instead of taking
You can
strain,
take
what
like
happens-
a rushed shot as you're running into the vehicle and not take strain is basically what I'm saying, on top of the chant.
and what is the
The
other side of the deal?
you would do it as normal. So you would take strain, do a regular shot, and get in the vehicle. And
No,
then do the
because
you would run into the vehicle, take a shot at one of them, and then use strain to do your chant.
sure.
So either that, or you take a shot with 2 black die and do not induce any strain, and then proceed to get in the vehicle and do your chant without
I'm
spending
taking
anything.
the strain
Okay.
while getting in the vehicle.
Right. Target the one to your left because that's probably the most
I am
adequate
targeting.
target.
And
Not that really
then
matters
I need-
because they're all the same stats. From your current position on them, the turret had a bit of a raised position, so it has, and I also forgot, but they are in cover, so add 1 black die to shots when you're shooting from this angle. Trey didn't have to
And
worry about
difficulty?
anything. It's they have 1 defense, so 3 difficulty total, 3 purple total. Okay.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Good fucking
Y'all want to just like
shot.
crit shit?
You can spin a triumph.
Spending triumph.
Kind of
Upgrade difficulty of target's next check. Upgrade an ally's next check. Do something vital. Can't I also just rate, or am I already critting? No, I'm not critting.
I mean, you can pick one of the ones that are alive and just increase their shot difficulty.
How about we slightly make the crossbow hit them in the fucking neck and make them slowly bleed out to terrify their friends?
Intimidation?
Yep.
Use the crit to... I will allow you to roll an intimidation check, and if you are successful, you will induce penalties, or if you're really successful, make them flee.
Where is intimidation?
Actually, I think it's coercion, I believe is what it's called in the
Coercion.
system.
Coercion, yeah.
Same idea, yeah. So roll a coercion check.
What difficulty, and should I boost anything with blues?
You do not impose your thing on yourself, and this is not an attack check, so you don't get the benefit of hatred.
Fair.
You would be rolling difficulty 3, because shooting them bloodily in the neck is a pretty good show, but they are also, gangers from the Underhive, so this is about par for the course.
Yep.
So it's not anything exceptional you are doing, but you're still trying to make a show of it.
Anyways.
Oh.
Nah. Only one advantage.
Not enough. They bleed out horrifically from a wound in their neck, screaming to their mother in a bloody tongue as they slowly die. But nobody else really seems to take notice nor care.
That's fucked up. Jesus. We never liked her.
You never knew her. She could have had kids. Who are probably also misandrous.
They're next.
They're next. That is the only appropriate response to the Underhive. Alrighty. Next turn would be... going back to the top of the turn order. Next turn would be, our friend 32. Alright, so you have an option here. This is how I'm going to rule this, just because it's a little bit more interesting this way. You can go right and attempt to maybe kill 2, or you can go left and attempt to kill the 1 and maybe take cover from the others. But if you go for the 1 on the left, there is no reasonable way with a melee weapon that you can knock one into another one to deal more damage from all the way over there, because I'm not going to bullshit it that far. So I will cap the damage at that one dying.
Huh. If I hit this one and just stay behind this cover and cover, can I get advantage from cover from both of them?
Maybe.
Can I just charge through this one and go straight for this one and try to get like trample damage? I did
Maybe.
knock her down.
he's trying to Bobby Boucher his way to victory.
Trying to Bobby bullshit my way to victory.
Yeah, you dealt a decent chunk of damage to this one ganger here.
How much damage does a human body do if I roll the hit with it?
Is there an unarmed weapon in this bloody thing?
I think they'd be a heavy weapon. Just pick her up and slam her into that one.
There are brass knuckles.
Is she wearing brass knuckles?
Brass knuckles do 1 damage.
Take 1 mental damage, IRL.
Would I have to pass an athletics check to pick her up and bodily slam her into the other one?
Go ahead. Because it's funny as shit.
Alright, you know what? I'll do the athletics check first to see if I can pick her up. What? She's on the ground. This is like normal difficulty, right?
Yeah.
3 successes.
32 sprints over after having said 1. Looking at a couple others that died. Goes over to this one, lifts her up, whispers in her ear as she's struggling. 2. And then chucks her at the other one.
No, I don't want to chuck her. I want to swing her.
You're like
Oh, so
2,
you're gonna
and
try
then
and
you begin.
continue to
I
run.
want this sprint with there to hit the other one. You know
You're
what?
gonna-
Let me use friends on while I'm doing this. That would help.
You're gonna do a fucking like Link spin attack with a body.
Yeah, sure, we'll do that. Ugh. I just pretend I'm holding that one. Alright, do I need the frenzy for this?
Yes.
I already get
Push
+3 blue die.
It's funny.
Alright, you know what? That's fair.
This is about as effective as a hammer, I will call it. So it will be your
If you
normal damage
actually-
with that.
You'll just give me my my heavy weapons roll.
Yeah. You
Alright,
should be
know
rolling
what?
your weapon, not your heavy weapon stat, by the way. You can roll the weapon itself in your sheet.
Oh, you want me to just roll my weapon for it as well?
Yeah, you go into the item, roll your custom Warhammer die.
And give yourself a bajillion blue dice.
What is
Alright,
it,
I'm
4 or
going
5 at this
frenzy
point?
as well.
Also, I'm pretty sure that fucking the blue dice from
Alright, so
chanting also applies to athletics and other rolls, but yeah,
this is going to be a lot of dice to roll.
funny.
Let's see. 1 blue, 2 blue. I'm frenzied, so 1 success, 2 advantages.
Ow!
Ow.
I somehow hit one with the other one and stick them both to that concrete wall.
Yeah, you manage to impale them both on a set of scraps as you swing one into the other and then release her after the impact. They are both impaled. Roll a coercion check for me. Because there is now only one left. And she
Do I add
just
advantage
witnessed
to it?
that.
I did get a bunch of successes.
Add 2 blue die. You just point at her and say 3.
She somehow stands her fucking ground. Probably because she's too terrified to move.
She's like, I can't count.
What?
In that case,
Uh,
I'm staying here and I'm
Double check your blue dice again because I'm losing my brain matter.
I gave you 2
Oh, I
blue
get
die.
one.
You have 1 more.
Yep.
Which at best would be a wash instead of a failure, but
Sad.
Yeah.
Actually, no, at best it could have succeeded, or no, 2 advantages, not 2 successes, my bad.
did you want to use a glory?
nah, that
No.
glory's not worth. This is 1 person. We still have 3 more people to go.
Okay, I am going to use a ruin. And yoink the initiative for a second.
I figured.
She
Okay.
is going to... Not scared of you per se, but scared of the situation. Induce some strain... Well, she doesn't have strain. She's going to fucking bolt for the cutter that you got dismounted off of and get on it and start up the engine. If you don't kill her this next round, she is escaping with your cutter.
Alright, I believe in Inquire. He has 4 blue die.
Well,
he has the
even
blue
if cutter, like, we cannot see her.
So basically, he got hit like around here, and the cutter went about up there, some ways. So she is about going from here. It's about like a 60-foot sprint.
Amazing.
Alright, Steve, pull out that carbine. You take aim.
I could hope.
All
You
right.
can get 4 blue die on this. I believe in
Pulling
you.
that back wire sheet. Untargeting the one that I don't want to be targeting. Equire. Mounted swivel heavy stubber. Should be difficulty 3 with 2 boost die because you gave him hatred.
No, he had to battle him. Son of a bitch.
He got
He is going to give... who has yet to go this turn?
Wasn't he getting
Even.
blue dice from something else as well, or?
The 2 blue dice that you got were one from
Yeah.
your him and one from your hatred.
What about the
Yeah.
blue dice that Steve gave him after you guys?
I also, to be fair, ignored the black
needed
die
3.
from the cover in between, but
That's fair.
so she is like here on a cutter. There's still some rubble in the way. It's like hilly in this area to give you a better picture. It's rubbled buildings in a war zone. What do you expect? Next would be Portman. So there are 2 options. Actually, no. Next would not be Portman. Next would be CC. CC. The advantage is going to be spent giving you an extra blue die. Can you sniper?
So is it now difficulty? So it's difficulty 2 with 1 black dice.
It's difficulty
I
3.
have- Mhm.
One default is 2 for everyone. Defense
I didn't
adds
know if there
purple
was a
dice
black
on top of
dice.
that. The Asher Gangers have 1 defense. They've always had it this entire encounter. I forgot about once, but that shot didn't matter because it was like 4 successes. So
All right, so 3 purple. I should have 2 blue.
you have 2
And
blue from
1
Sigismund and an extra blue from Equire.
Okay, and if I aim, I get another blue.
Yep. So give yourself 4
Did you
blue
not
die.
get a blue from Battle Hymn?
We
Yeah.
already counted
Yeah, I
that.
got this.
Yeah.
Oh. How?
Yeah, that's a mystery to me.
Let's do it.
There went a shot.
I believe in you, Steven.
I don't. There it is.
Well, you should have.
There's all of my successes.
Yeah, for the rest of the
Oh,
Oh god,
campaign.
that was $600 in ammo. She should have just kept the cutter.
Ah. The bubblefish. Sorry.
Describe how her fucking chest burst open already.
Oh, it's not her chest. You score a headshot, and it's a fucking bolt round. So brain matter explodes everywhere around her as she
Yeah, that did.
proceeds to lose strength and therefore doesn't push down on the accelerator anymore. And the cutter, along with her, simply falls over.
She's still trying to reach for the controls, but she can't see them anymore.
I mean, her hands are briefly still on the handles to like it's a motorcycle. You have like motorcycle-esque handles.
Yeah.
But they all of a sudden go slack, and as she falls off, she just rolls off like a rag doll with no head.
God damn, I did 33 damage.
And that is the end of the encounter.
Hell yeah.
None
I
of them
walked
got
out of
away
the
to warn
encounter
others
alive.
this time.
Let's go.
You barely took damage, comparatively, to the swamp encounter, at least. All right.
The Emperor has
You
blessed me
succeeded.
today and made it so that the bolt gun inside of my fucking body didn't explode.
Yeah,
Oh, also my
the
token
Emperor's...
here- My token here is also broken.
Oh, does it not have vision?
No, it doesn't have fucking connection to my...
God damn it. All right, let me just fix on your character properly with prototype token. Apparently I never did it
Oh,
there.
I took way
for-
too much damage. Whoops.
Oh, did you?
I thought I had 3 soak. I have 7 soak.
Oh, so give yourself 3 health back. Yeah, you're doing fine.
I was like, God damn, that still fucking hurt.
I mean, enough
upgraded
of
my
them will
armor and
still hurt.
everything.
Enough
Yeah,
of
but
them
now
will
it takes
still
like
hurt.
it takes like 4 shots to put me down instead of 2.
Yeah.
Thank
It
you,
should be
defense
fixed.
1.
Oh, I don't think the rest of you are linked either. Okay, let me fix that. Ooh, link actor data update token.
Gentlemen, I just want to say good job.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
about-
if instead of that we want to, I assume we're probably going to be getting pretty close to wrapping up. If we wanted to do that, and then we wanted to write down we give you time to see what all.
I think that we should just get back to base, see what
David
we
got.
maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Basically,
If
we're
you're ready-
gonna get you guys back to space. We'll do some stuff off stream, and this time I expect you guys to
Mhm.
reply to it.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
we'll get you guys set up. And in the meanwhile, I will work on making a map proper for the gutter.
Yippee.
Or
Let's
at
go.
least what portions of the gutter you'll see this session.
Right.
That session.
That session. Till then, that is a good point to end off otherwise. So, thank you very much, everyone, for dropping by. It's been about 3 hours, and we've shitposted and talked lore. And we've also done some tabletop stuff. Who would have thought that might happen?
Oh
Well
my
done,
god.
everyone. Luck is fun, and not in your favor, it seems. Hunger Games odds are not in your favor. But with that, thank you very much for dropping by. Hope you have a good one. We'll see you again for this campaign in 2 weeks. We shouldn't have any more significant delays unless something life comes up.
No.
All right.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.